This is Mr. Evilcheese, and this is my review of The Walking Dead number 118 of the comic book series, and that will be part 4 of the all-out war storyline, which is turning out to be pretty cool so far. And I keep calling them reviews, but it's more like thoughts on it, because it's really hard to review just a small part of a bigger story. But like every issue so far, I liked it. And other than that one issue, the first one that I reviewed, which was like part 2 or something, just seemed really short. Other than that, they've all been pretty good. And this one answers a few more questions, like what the hell's going on with Maggie? It's been a while since we've seen Maggie. Ever since Glenn died, she's been at the hilltop with Sophia, and who knows what the hell's going on with her. And one thing that I always said when comparing the TV show to the comic is, I like the TV show version of Maggie so much better. Like, I don't really care much for the one in the comic. Like, she never really did much. She was basically Glenn's girlfriend, and that was it. But in this issue, she finally seems to be stepping up a little, taking control. In her way, it almost reminds me of Andrea in the show. She's like, when Andrea starts talking to the Woodbury people, this is kind of like what Maggie's doing here, trying to be the leader, like a better leader for the group than this Gregory dude is. And that's another question that's answered. Gregory is still alive. I wasn't sure, because in that one issue where Negan kicks him off of something, I wasn't sure if he kicked him into like a bunch of zombies, kicked him off of a really high roof. I don't know where he's kicking him to, but I guess he's still alive. He made it back with all of his other hilltop people that left Rick's little attack. And yeah, this guy's just, it's really hard to like this Gregory guy. He's just that guy. He's just an asshole. He's a coward. He just sucks. So basically Gregory's lying about what happened, saying that the saviors came and got him, and he tried his best to save his people because he's such a good guy, when really all that happened was he was scared that he was going to get killed, so he went to see Negan secretly and try to make a deal with him, and well, but convinced all of his hilltop people to leave, except for Jesus, I think. He's the only one that stayed. But yeah, Gregory just sucks. And that's when Maggie steps up, punches him in the face, because Gregory's all like, Negan is an okay guy, and she's like, he killed my husband. And I wish she would have went into more detail about that. He didn't just kill her husband, he like beat him in the head repeatedly with Lucille. And I think if she would have went into more detail about what Negan actually did to her husband, that would help convince these people she's talking to a little more that Gregory's wrong here and Negan needs to be stopped. But it is really cool seeing Maggie like stepping up a little and having like shown more of her character, because really she was just kind of there what I thought before. Like she was in love with Glenn and she took care of the kids, but never really knew where she stood on anything, so this is kind of cool. But this right here I thought was a little cheesy. It's like, I believe in Rick Grimes. It's like, I don't know, this seemed kind of funny, like it should be a little button you put on your shirt, like he's running for president or something. It's like, what the fuck? Then we get to the little moment with Carl and Michonne. Michonne returns and Carl's like, where's my dad? And she's like, he's fine, blah blah blah. And he kind of tells her everybody's freaked out. And I like how she goes, everybody? And he's like, yeah. Which is kind of cool. Like, most times it seems like Carl would like try to act like he's tough, but it seems like with Michonne, that's one of the people he would actually be honest with. So that's kind of cool, showing her closeness, I guess. Here's where things got a little bit confusing for me the first time I read through it, because they show Rick's battle attacking the outposts, and then there's like this, someone's like narrating, like talking over it, and I'm like, who the hell is talking? I'm confused. And you're talking about that Rick's doing a good job, and then whoever's talking didn't do such a good job. I'm like, who the hell is talking? I'm so confused. And they're just, the guy keeps talking, and then they go through showing Rick's group attacking this outpost, and they lose someone fairly significant, and it's one of the two guys. What is it? Eric. Eric dies. It's like there's the two gay guys, and one of them dies. And then you have a little plumber's crack shot there. I don't know. couple other people get killed, but I don't think there are anybody, just nameless people in each group. And then looks like Rick takes over this outpost. And then we find out who is actually talking, and that would be Ezekiel. And yeah, that guy, I said in one of my other reviews, I'm not too sure if I like Ezekiel. There's a lot of questions with this guy. There's a lot of questions with Jesus too, but Jesus seems to be an alright guy. Ezekiel is really confusing about what the hell he is. And I don't know, basically says he never was in a fight before, he never led people into an attack, and it makes sense that he wouldn't do so good, because Negan's people have obviously seen their share of violence, and if Ezekiel hasn't, then he ain't gonna know what to do, and it makes sense that his group lost. But what really sucks is that they show him getting saved by Shiva, his tiger, and like the tiger thing it's just kind of ridiculous that he has a tiger, but I mean it's not completely unrealistic. I mean tigers do exist in the world, and I don't know, the tiger basically saves him and sacrifices himself, or sacrifices herself for Ezekiel. Would a tiger really do that? I don't know if a tiger would do that, if they feel that kind of loyalty to a person, but that's what Shiva does, or at least that's what Ezekiel is saying happened. And apparently, I don't know, Shiva gets eaten by a pack of zombies, and that's the death of Shiva. So that's kind of like the more significant death. I mean, there's the two gay guys, but they didn't really show too much with them. And but Shiva is like kind of like this really big thing that's standing out. Lots of people didn't like the idea of a tiger being in the comics, so her death, I think, is a little more significant. You don't really see her die, though, so she could still be alive. I mean, she could be bitten several times, and the zombie virus supposedly doesn't affect animals, so she could be bitten and injured and still alive. But it seems like she's probably dead. Just the way they did it, it seems like there's probably no more tiger now. But who knows? She could pop up again. Now at the end they show that was actually Ezekiel talking, and he's sitting there with Michonne. I'm a little unsure what happened there, because Michonne's at the what's their place called? Sanctuary or something. I always forget what their little group is called, but safety zone, I think. Does that mean Ezekiel showed up at the safety zone? I'm confused about how that happened, or did Michonne go to the kingdom? I don't know. I'm not confused about what happened there. I do kind of like, one thing that makes me like Ezekiel a little more is that he says he wished he would have died, because he would have went out, you know, he would have died trying to save his people, and people will remember him for dying for them. But now he lived, and so many of his people died, and now his tiger's gone, and he's sad and depressed, and he doesn't want people to see him like that. So that's kind of like showing a little bit of his character, so that's nice. But still, I just don't know where they're going to go with him. The funny thing about it is the biggest problem I have with Ezekiel is more of that he's getting involved with Michonne, and that makes, you know, they're going to have a relationship, and that just makes me think that one of them could be killed because they're in a relationship, and this time it could be Michonne that gets killed, and I really don't want that to happen. I think that's one thing about comic books. I mean, The Walking Dead is different than superhero comics, but like Spider-Man, like he might die, but he always comes back. He goes on forever. Batman might die every once in a while, but still he always comes back. He goes on forever. But with Walking Dead characters, once they die, they're done. And that's what just sucks. I don't want someone like Michonne or Rick to die and be gone forever, and they can't come back. There's no crazy, ridiculous thing that's going to bring them back, and I really don't want her to be one of the ones to be gone. She's like definitely my favorite character in the comic, probably my favorite in the show, and I don't want her to die and be gone. But it could happen. Now, I'm really liking this all-out war story. I'm just wondering, like, Rick's group is really doing a good job. Like, they're kicking ass so far. Other than Ezekiel's group didn't do too well, but still, it just makes me wonder, when is Negan going to get the advantage? Because you know that has to happen. This is a 12-issue story. Negan's going to get the advantage. Things are going to look bad for Rick, and I wonder when that's going to happen and how that's going to happen, and who's going to die. But that's probably what everybody wonders, who's going to die. It just freaks me out. I'm just worried about who's going to die in this story. I don't want him to kill anybody I like, but it's probably going to happen. So, I don't know, that's my thoughts on this issue. Tell me what you think about it if you read it. Where do you think this Maggie story is going to go? Is she going to take over this Hilltop group? start running it. She'd probably have to get rid of Gregory to do that, though, or something. And who do you think's going to die in this story? Like the All Out War story, do you think? I don't know. You think Michonne will die? Do you think Ezekiel, Rick, Carl, Andrea? Do you think any of them will die? Because I kind of hope none of them die, really. Well, Ezekiel. Eh. Also, do you think Shiva is dead, the tiger? Because I'm not sure. Like, they don't show her die, and I could see her coming back at some point. And do you want her dead? Because some people hate the tiger. Like, first I thought it was ridiculous a little bit, but still, it's just one of those things that grew on me. It's like, okay, they explained that he has a tiger. Still a little ridiculous, but he has one. I kind of like it now. Well, thanks for watching this. Still trying to get a hang on this comic reviewing thing, and I'll be back next issue, hopefully. So, thanks for watching, and subscribing if you haven't already, and goodbye. Oh, I'm telling you, one of these times we're going to have zombie makeup for these. I wish I could put the zombie makeup on every time, but it just takes so long, and I'm so picky about getting it just right. So, damn it. Well, thanks for watching, goodbye.
Oh, damn it. Check out one of these other videos here by clicking on the picture or subscribing. Yeah!